Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Remember when I told y'all a while back that everybody ain't playing, and just because you're a bully and you're bigger and you appear to be badder and you got more resources and more might, that you're not going to intimidate everybody? Everybody's not going to be afraid of you? Well, it looks like that's what's going on right now with America, Israel, and Iran. Iran is not backing down, fam. In fact, Iran has not just decided to fight back against the United States. Iran is fighting back against the world. Anybody that's rocking with the United States, anybody that has assets in the United States or U.S. assets in their country, Iran is targeting them. They are on a rampage. They are sending missiles in every direction. America is losing its war against Iran. Don't let all that tough talk fool you, fam. America is losing the war. I want to show y'all somebody. This is Mohammad Marandi. Mohammad Marandi is an American Iranian academic, intellectual, and political analyst. He is closely linked to the Iranian government. London-based newspaper Iran International describes him as a mouthpiece of the Iranian government. He is described on his website as a prominent Iranian defender of the Islamic Revolution. I want you to pay attention to what he had to say.
Has been targeting U.S. assets in the Persian Gulf, and those assets could be anything that's linked to the United States. The United States is bombing hospitals. The United States is bombing schools. The United States is bombing Iranian national radio and television alongside the Israeli regime. So U.S. assets in the Persian Gulf, they too will be attacked.
All right, first of all, before I go any further, shouts out to Larry Reed, give him his credit. This is where I saw this story at on his Instagram. Let me tell you something, fam. As he said, America is bombing everything. The U.S. is bombing schools, they're bombing hospitals, they're killing everything. But yet, these guys are made to be the bad guys. They're the ones who are the axis of evil. They don't want to talk about bombing those schools, killing little innocent girls. They don't want to talk about bombing those hospitals, killing incapacitated patients, elderly patients, children, people who are immobile. They can't even run if they try.
But assets that belong to the states in the Persian Gulf region, they have not been touched by the Iranians. However, if they host U.S. forces, because many of the soldiers have left their bases and been taken to hotels, the Iranians will target them. So at the end of the day, if they want this problem to end, they have to expel soldiers of the Epstein regime.
Could a new leader, do you think, negotiate with Trump and agree to his terms?
No. Iran is not interested in negotiating with Trump or the U.S. regime. Iran is going to punish the United States.
Iran is not interested in negotiating with Trump or the United States. Iran is going to punish the United States. Well, think about this, fam. For those of you who think that Iran perhaps is acting irrationally. You're sitting at a table negotiating a truce. You're having so-called peace talks. This is a conversation you're having with the other side to avoid conflict. You do not want war. You're expressing it by your willingness to sit at the table and talk things through. And then, out of nowhere, you attack. You just get attacked. How much trust would you have in sitting down with that person who attacked you? If you were sitting down and have, you know what, let me take out the truce and the wars and the partners and the gangs and the countries. How about you are standing talking to a person and y'all having a conversation about a misunderstanding, right? And y'all seem like you both are willing to talk it out. And they go to shake your hand, you go to shake their hand, and they still off on you. How would you view that? Would you trust that person?
And we are in the process of doing it. This regime in Washington has tried to cross a bridge that's a bridge too far. And they're messing with the wrong country. We're not Venezuela, we're not Iraq, we're not Libya, we're not Afghanistan, and we're not Syria. This is the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we will make sure that the United States regrets the aggression against the Iranian people and the slaughter of children and the slaughter of innocent civilians and the murder of the leader. These are crimes against humanity, and the United States and its allies have imposed the law of the jungle upon the world, and they will come to regret it.
But Iran is not a military superpower either, and we're seeing the vast majority of drones and missiles being shot down by air defenses. I mean, you know, surely Iran cannot win a military war and therefore has to go for some other kind of strategy in coming to a settlement.
Iran will defeat the United States. Time will tell. And our drones that are being fired are very old drones. Our missiles that are being fired are very old missiles. They're very inexpensive. And Americans are using up very expensive air defense systems. The Iranians know exactly what they're doing. We haven't even begun using our latest technology, and most of Iran's underground bases have not even been used yet. They have not even been opened up for operation. The Iranians have been planning for this day ever since the invasion of Iraq. They knew that at some point the Epstein regime will go after Iranians, and therefore they've been preparing themselves for many years. We are fighting for our homeland and our sovereignty and our independence, and our crime is that we oppose the genocide that the British regime and the American regime and Western regimes have been supporting.
Our crime is that we oppose the regime that the British, the American, Israeli have been supporting. That is our crime.
And we are on the right side of history, and the United States is the aggressor, and we will punish the aggressor and make it regret its crimes against humanity.
What percentage of Iran's missile stocks remain?
The vast majority.
Because after last year's war, it was estimated that Iran had used up around 40% of its missiles. Are you saying that was replenished in the last few months?
Those numbers were always fake. Those numbers are provided by the Israeli regime to the media in order to convince foolish Americans that war against Iran is simple. This war was supposed to end in a day or two. The 12-day war was supposed to bring Iran down like a house of cards. That failed, this failed, and now the United States will have to pay the price. And if the United States escalates, that will mean that the most sensitive region in the world, the Persian Gulf, where a quarter of the world's energy comes from, everything could be destroyed. And if that happens, it doesn't even matter if the Strait of Hormuz is open or closed, because there will be no oil or gas, and there will be no tankers. For Iran, this is a fight for survival. For the United States, this is a war of choice.
For Iran, this is a war of survival. For the United States, it's a war of choice. No more talk.